Life is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. This was how I viewed the world. My story begins with a great hunger and desire for truth. When I was in college, when I was an undergrad, I started to read the philosophy of Nietzsche. Nietzsche teaches that if you're honest about what the world is, then you have to recognize that there is no supernatural dimension. There are no miracles. If you look at history, if you look at science, from a rational perspective, then God is dead. I became a very, very passionate atheist, and really what I came to believe was that there was no way to be intellectually honest and to believe in God. I went to New York and I thought, I'm going to be an artist. I'm going to express myself. I'm going to find meaning. I'm going to create my own meaning. I have to create my own meaning because there is no meaning out there in the world. At the time, I was living with my girlfriend, who I'd met in high school in Colorado. And we had a great love and loyalty and affection for each other. But my view of love was that I decided what love was. I chose love. Love didn't choose me. And that affected my relationship with Lindsay because I felt as though I could choose when love started and when love ended. This fit in with my entire view that I'd learned from Nietzsche, which is there is no meaning out in the world. I thought I was after the highest way that you could be human. I also thought that it meant that I had to continually stare at this ugly truth about life, that nothingness is the bottom of reality. A kind of anxiety seeped into my life, a kind of morbidness, always thinking about death. I started to feel sick. I started to have migraines, real migraines. I started to feel more tired than I've ever felt before. The symptoms started to take over my life. At one point, I thought, I told Lindsay, I said, I'm very sick. I don't feel well. I can hardly move. And Lindsay said, well, we should go to a doctor. I said, I feel so sick. I feel like I need to go to the emergency room. I went to the emergency room at least 3 times that I remember, maybe 4 times in Greenwich Village. All kinds of tests were run on me. They couldn't find anything wrong. There was nothing lovable about me. I could hardly get out of bed. I wasn't going to work. Lindsay was always there. Sometimes I'd be in the emergency room till 3 in the morning. She was there. She would hold my hand. She wouldn't say, you're crazy. She wouldn't say, you're being very selfish, which I was being very selfish. I had to learn what this gaze was, this gaze of love, this encounter with love. I didn't know what name to put on it. If you'd asked me, I wouldn't have said, this is the mystery of love that calls us all into being. I wouldn't have said anything to you like that. It was much more visceral. It was like a lifeline. I had it together enough to realize this was not cancer. This was not some kind of disease that was creeping up on me. What I realized is my atheism was failing me as a way of life. To stare at nothingness as a destiny is a little bit like the Greek myth of the Medusa. The short version of it is, if you stare at her, if you look her in the face, you will turn to stone. If you look at this defective conception of reality, you'll turn to stone, because human beings need hope, they need love. I suddenly felt a profound hope and peace and joy coming from Lindsay. From Lindsay's face, which I'd always thought was a beautiful face, but now it seemed to me like a face that was shining almost with a supernatural beauty. All I understood was that love was keeping me alive. I was living off of this kind of love. And it wasn't just me choosing when to love and not to love. It was that love was sustaining me. Love was a mystery that was sustaining me. I became Catholic and I became Christian because love is the truth of things. Love is the mystery at the center of things. It's not an accident afterwards, it's at the source of things. Sometimes we need to be brought into such a deep darkness that we can have an encounter with love. Love called me out of darkness. The love of Lindsay.